friends. Good evening once again. This is Samuel Gyamfi coming to you from Marrakesh, and welcome to our piano lessons for beginners once again. Remember, during our last lesson, we learned the different notes on the keyboard, and today we are going to learn to play in the different keys of the keyboard. You know, on the keyboard we have major keys and we have minor keys. So today we are going to learn how to play in the major keys, and we are going to start with the key of C major. So you remember last week I taught you what C, C sharp, D, D sharp, E or E flat, all those stuff. All of those notes actually represent keys. They are the root notes of different keys. So first of all, maybe you do not know what a key is. So I'll explain, try to find the simplest way to explain what a key is. A key is simply a tune. So I don't know when this normally used to happen when we used to be in primary school and maybe sometimes middle school. So sometimes when the students actually meet in class, or the pupils, and they are taught a song, and you're going to hear the teacher say that, maybe X or Y should give the tune. So they are going to now sing, "Good morning, Jesus, good morning, Lord," and all the other children are going to listen to that tune. And then the teacher will say, "Okay, all of you sing," and everybody is going to start singing in that particular tune that was given by that person. And so the kids will start singing, "Good morning, Jesus." Of course, some of them will be going off and off, but the tune you heard is actually the key. What the teacher was actually saying is that sing in this particular key. So today, that is what we're going to learn. I'm going to demonstrate something on the piano now to show you what I meant by singing in different keys. So let's say, how great is our God. Sing with me, how great is our God. And all will see how great is our God. Now, I sang this in the key of A. So let's say in the tune of A. I can also sing it in another key like G. How great is our God. Sing with me, how great is our God. So you see, the same song, I sang it in a different key or in a different tune. So that is what we actually call a key. So now we're going to start with the key of C major. Remember last week I told you that when we try to tune the piano, we start with the middle C. The C is the fundamental key of the piano, and that is where we start from. It also happens to be the easiest key to play in on the piano because you have all white chords. You do not have any black chords. So I'm going to show you something on the piano now. So now, if you're looking at my fingers, you remember the middle C. So we have the middle C here. So every key is made up of 7 basic notes. That is do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti. These are the 7, and then you come back to do, that is the 8, or it still comes back to the first. So what you actually have is this 7. So the key of C actually starts do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do, ti, la, sol, fa, mi, re, do. So now you have to pay attention to this particular key because it's going to serve as a foundation. Whatever you learn here, you are just going to transpose to another key as you move on. So in the key of C, the first note you have is C, the white note, then go to the D, then go to the E, then go to the F, then go to the G, then to the A, to the B, and back to the C note. What you can actually notice is that between the first note and the second note, there's a whole step, meaning you skip one half step and you come here. So whole step, because what is a half step? When you go from one place to another place, be it a black note or a white note, it is actually a half step. So if you're going from a black note to the next note, it is a half step. If you're going from a white note to the black note, it is a half step. Just any note. But now, if you skip one note and you go to the next note, it becomes a whole step. So let's say I come from here and I skip this note and I come to play this. Between this and this, it is a whole step. We have actually skipped this. Half plus half is a whole step. So between C, or the first note, and the second note, which is D, we have a whole step. Between D and E, which is the third note, there's another whole step. But between E and F, it's a half step. Now between F and G is another whole step. Between G and A is another whole step. And then between A and B is another whole step. Then you come here. When you start in the scale again, it is another half step. But from here, you can see it. So what you have is you start from the one, then whole step, half step, whole step, whole step, whole step. And then you are done. Then you close it. I know you are itching to play, but it is important to learn how to position your fingers. So we're going to start with the right hand technique. So on the right hand, you have your 5 fingers. Each of the 5 fingers should be able to take a note. So the first exercise you have to do is this. You know, I taught you how to play do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, si, do up to here. But just with this exercise, you just play to the 5th note, the 5, and then you come back. You try to do the same for the left hand in the bass. Again. Now let's try doing both together, left hand, right hand. Then we're going to do it again one second time. So this particular exercise, you've got to do it several times. Why? Because you need to get your fingers used to the keyboard. Because when you do this, eventually you'll be able to play C chord this way. And each finger covers one note. And you see, in the same way in the right hand, you'll be able to play C this way. And each finger covers a particular note within the key of C. Now, another exercise I would like to also teach you in the key of C is this. Now you're going to play all the 8 notes. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, si, do. But look at my right hand technique. Play the first note with a thumb. Second note, second finger. Third, and then I now bring the thumb from here. Then start. So, la, si, do. Let's do it again. So 1, re, mi. Then I bring the thumb here. After the third note, I bring the thumb back. Fa, sol, la, si, do. Then if you're coming back, do, bring this here. Mi, re, do. So you see, I started with the thumb and came back on the thumb. Now, on the right hand, you see, on the right hand, you start using the thumb. On the left hand, you use the last finger. So it normally goes this way. You know, watch how I changed. On the right hand, I changed from do, re, mi, and then brought the thumb here. On the left hand, it's going to be the inverse. I'm going to play all the 5 and then bring this finger. So watch. Do, re, mi, fa, sol. Then I bring this. La, si, do. Doing it once again. Do, re, mi, fa, sol. Then I bring this. La, si, do. So when you do this, you can even try to do both together. So you can do do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, si, do, ti, la, sol, fa, mi, re, do. You do that as gently as possible, and gradually you can increase the speed with which you do it. What are you trying to build? You are trying to build the coordination between the right hand and the left hand. And you are going to understand in the next lesson why this particular lesson or exercise is important. It's going to help you build coordination. You're going to see that what the left hand does, although similar to what the right hand does, they are a bit different. And that is where you start from. This is the foundation. Another thing you should also know is the numbering system, that the do becomes the 1 or the first, re, 2 or second, mi, 3, fa, 4, sol, 5, la, 6, si, 7, and do, you come to the 8. So note that all of these notes within the key of C, they have a number. You can go to the 8th, to the 9th, to the 13th, whatever. But 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then you can add the 8, but note that this is called the 1, this is the 2, this is the 3, this is the 4, this is the 5, this is the 6, this is the 7, this is the 8. So with this, we have come to the end of this lesson. In the next lesson, we are going to try to learn how to play some chords in the key of C. Thank you, and please feel free to share this lesson with your friends and loved ones. And if you feel or see anything that you think we can improve upon to make this lesson more enjoyable, please drop it in the comments. And also let us know how well this lesson has helped you. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button or the like button so that you can actually receive notifications for new videos to drop. Hit the notification bell. And once again, thank you and have a wonderful, wonderful day. Thank you.